Deep in the Sahara Desert, 4 Russian fighters are pinned down. One of them has brought a box of grenades. A response to the heavy machine guns of their attackers. The man who's filming takes cover behind a truck. The man who filmed that video was Nikita Fedyanin, a member of Russia's notorious Wagner group. He was killed, his body filmed afterward by the separatist rebels who had attacked his convoy. According to the watchdog group All Eyes on Wagner, more than 50 Wagner operatives were killed, the group's biggest defeat since they arrived in Mali 2 years ago. These rare videos of the group in combat were filmed by Fedyanin and his comrades, then recovered from their bodies by the rebels. The videos filmed on body cams like this one document what's being called the Battle of Tinzawaten. Mali has been split in two since 2012, when Touareg separatists and their jihadist allies took over the northern part of the country. The government in Bamako has been fighting to take it back ever since, helped first by the French, and since 2022 by Wagner. The Malians and their Russian allies launched a counterattack last year, taking back the key city of Kidal. Since then, they have been advancing north, pushing back the Touareg separatist rebels and the jihadists. On July 24th, a convoy of Malian and Wagner forces found themselves trapped between the Tuaregs of the CSP on an elevated plateau to their northwest and Islamist fighters known as the JNIM to the southeast. The column first came under attack from the Tuareg forces, then when they fell back from the Al-Qaeda-affiliated JNIM. A helicopter took off to help them, but had to land when it came under fire. The rebels took Malian army soldiers prisoner. They destroyed numerous pickups and armored vehicles, and captured some intact, like this Chinese-made VP-11. Wagner has been active in Africa since 2017. Experts say Tinzaouaten was the group's worst defeat to date.
We're looking at losses that exceed any of those of other skirmishes involving Wagner on the continent. I think that this was a very poorly thought out effort in northern Mali near the border with Algeria.
The most visible loss was Nikita Fedyanin. He was administrator of the Grey Zone, one of the mercenary group's main propaganda channels. His comrades posted a tribute to him on Telegram. They recognized him because of his scarf and his watch.
He was somebody that didn't necessarily occupy a high-ranking position within the military organization, but nonetheless was respected and had a large public profile, was important to broader efforts to propagandize the group domestically and internationally, circulate images of Wagner fighters abroad, as well as imagery associated with Wagner, their symbols, etc.
Wagner has been known for working closely with its African allies and for not hesitating to go into combat. But the fiasco at Tinzaouaten has been heavily criticized by Russian bloggers, and the group's tactics could change.
There's really a matter here of the fact that they are willing to work closely with their local allies in a way that Western powers were not. That is to say that they're not going to bias towards force protection. They're going to bias towards undertaking efforts at specific objectives that might result in losses for them. And that wins them a lot of goodwill locally. But as I've said before, the Malians don't want them there to die. They want them there to fight and to win. And so if the Malians view this as embarrassing as well and try to place the blame on the Russians, it's very likely it's going to change that incentive structure and that we'd see Wagner less willing to take on missions like this one in Tinzaouaten.
3 days after the battle, the Malian army struck back with a drone attack that hit a camp of migrant gold miners, forcing them to flee. And in late August, another drone struck a pharmacy in the town. The army said the drone targeted fighters, but our observer in the town said it killed more than 20 civilians, including several children. The NGO ACLED estimates that at least 300 civilians have been killed in northern Mali since the fighting resumed last year. As for Wagner, the group remains active in at least 5 African countries: Mali, its ally Burkina Faso, Libya, Sudan, and the Central African Republic.